Look, software engineering as we know it, it's ending soon. Had your future all planned out? Nice try. Letting go is hard.
It is laying off about 5% of its workforce.
Meta, owner of Facebook, is trimming 5% of its workforce.
So, which jobs are going away and which ones are going to stay?
Yeah, I get it. But dragging your feet? Worse. Your skills aren't trash. If you get smart about this, right now. And that's what I'm here for, to show you the moves that give you the best shot going forward. You hear whispers, right? Maybe see the headlines, layoffs, AI, market correction. It feels different, especially when it hits you.
AI is taking over software engineering jobs, and it's not just at the entry level. Mid-level engineers, so people with 2 to 3 years of experience are going to compete with AI now.
Like the ground is shifting under our feet. We used to be the rock stars, the wizards behind the curtain, building the future line by line. Remember that? The golden age? It wasn't that long ago, but man, does it feel like a lifetime away sometimes? So what's really going on? Is it the fall? Are we dinosaurs looking up at the sky, seeing a big fiery AI comet heading our way? It's dramatic.
So when they look at something like this, oh my gosh, it's coding. Oh my gosh, it's running things in the terminal. It's looking up documentation. It's calling an API.
I know, but the feeling, the uncertainty, it's real. We gotta unpack this. No sugarcoating, just the straight dope. And more importantly, what the hell do we do about it? Right now, let's rewind a bit. Think way back. Picture the 1950s. Huge room-filling machines, blinking lights, endless cables snaking everywhere. Software engineers then? They weren't typing on sleek laptops in fancy cafes. No way. They were pioneers, wrestling with giants, punching holes in cards to feed these beastly, primitive computers. Languages like Fortran, COBOL, the very dawn of our craft. And how many were there, like, really doing this? Maybe 10,000 people in the entire United States. Think about that, 10,000. You were rarer than a politician telling the whole truth. Demand was skyrocketing, tech was starting its climb, and if you could tame those machines, your salary went through the roof. It had to. You were part of this tiny elite club. Nobody back then was worried about a machine taking their job. The machines barely worked with human ingenuity, let alone without it. Fast forward a bit, the 70s, the 80s, things get easier, sort of. Compilers got smarter. We started getting these things called integrated development environments, IDEs. Remember Turbo Pascal in '85? Game changer. Suddenly, compiling, running code. It got faster, more efficient. Automation started creeping in, handling some grunt work. But creativity? Nah, that was still us. Pure human magic. The number of programmers grew, maybe 200,000 in the US by the mid-80s. Personal computers were exploding onto the scene. Demand was still racing ahead. But the idea of a machine writing all the code, replacing us, still felt like science fiction. It was a craft, meticulous work, line by careful line. Then came the new millennium, the 2000s. Autocomplete, error detection. Oh, the relief. Repetitive stuff started fading away. Open source bloomed. GitHub, sharing code, reusing brilliance. We were standing on the shoulders of giants, and the giants were each other. Programming was still hard work, intense, but tools were making the tedious bits less tedious. And the numbers? By 2010, we were talking over 18 million developers worldwide. 18 million. Around this time, smarter automation appeared. AutoML, automating parts of machine learning, making model creation easier, even without deep stats knowledge. That sparked a little flicker of unease, excitement, both. If a machine could automate machine learning, what else could it automate? And then, boom, the 2010s, especially the latter half. Artificial intelligence, not just hype, but real advances. Deep learning, TensorFlow from Google in 2015. Tools like SonarQube, sniffing out bad code automatically. And the real kicker, 2017. Google drops the paper on the transformer architecture. That's the bedrock, the foundation for the big language models we see now. Suddenly, AI could understand and process language like never before. And guess what they started pointing it at? United States. Software development, generating code snippets, automating debugging. The turning point, the moment everyone really started paying attention, 2021. GitHub launches Copilot.
A lot of the code in our apps and including the AI that we generate is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead of people engineers.
Developed with OpenAI. You type a comment, a description in plain English, and bam, functional code appears like magic. GitHub said in its first year, Copilot generated something like 40% of the code in projects using it. 40%. Microsoft rolls out its own Copilot across its ecosystem, calling it the most powerful productivity tool on the planet. Developers everywhere started looking over their shoulders. Is my job next? And it didn't stop there. 2022. DeepMind's AlphaCode, an AI tackling competitive programming problems. Complex stuff. It didn't beat the best humans. Not yet. but it landed in the top 54%, better than average. That sent a chill down the spine. This wasn't just about automating simple tasks anymore. I was coming for the hard problems too. Okay, pause. Deep breath. That brings us closer to now. But before we dive into the AI deep end, let's talk about the other storm that hit, the human one. Remember the pandemic? ICO everything went online overnight. Work, shopping, school, hanging out. Digital platforms exploded, and tech companies, their demand, their profits went stratospheric. So what did they do? They hired and hired and hired. Like there was no tomorrow. A hiring frenzy. Meta, Facebook, almost doubled its staff in a couple of years. Amazon grew its workforce by like 90%. They thought this crazy online surge was the new normal, that it would last forever. They bet big. But it wasn't forever, was it? The world reopened. People went outside again. That insane spike in online activity. It leveled off, settled down, and suddenly these tech giants looked around and realized, we hired way too many people. Bloated staffs, unsustainable costs. Shopify's CEO admitted it. We misjudged the e-commerce boom. They laid off 10% in 2022. Then the economic warning signs flashed. Recession fears, investor pressure. Cut costs. Be efficient.
No question, artificial intelligence will remake the workplace.
Artificial intelligence could replace millions of jobs.
AI could replace 300 million full-time jobs.
Meta dropped the bombshell in November 2022. 11,000 jobs cut. 13% of their workforce gone. That was the signal. The floodgates opened. Amazon, Cisco, Salesforce, Google. 12,000 jobs in January 2023. Intel. Layoff after layoff. By the end of 2022, nearly 200,000 tech workers let go. Through 2023, the number climbed over 428,000 globally, and it didn't stop. 2024 saw another approximately 141,000 gone by October. Even into this year, 2025, the cuts continue. The Bay Area alone lost over 80,000 tech jobs in 2023 to 2024, erasing the pandemic gains. The US now employs fewer software developers than it did in 2018. Let that sink in. A complete reversal. What was a desperate talent shortage just a few years ago flipped, almost overnight, into a talent surplus. And it wasn't just layoffs. Hiring freezes slammed down, slowdowns. Big tech got picky. Forget rapid growth. The new mantra was efficiency and sustainable profits. Fill only the critical roles. Promotions, new openings, suddenly scarce. It became an employer's market again. Remember getting multiple offers, crazy perks, companies fighting over you? Yeah. That feels distant now. Recruiters started seeing hundreds, sometimes thousands, of applications for a single software job, especially entry-level. The number of open software jobs globally, roughly half of what it was at the peak in 2022. Half. Landing a job became a grind, even for skilled folks. Long searches, tough interviews. Then there's outsourcing. Pandemic-proved remote work works. So companies thought, if our team can be anywhere, why not hire brilliant engineers in places where salaries are lower? Eastern Europe, Latin America, Southeast Asia. Suddenly, you weren't just competing with the person down the street. You were competing with someone equally skilled, halfway across the world, willing to work for less. Remote work globalized the talent pool. Great for companies saving cash. Great for talent in emerging hubs, but tough for engineers in traditional high-cost areas. Geography started mattering less. And now back to AI. Because while all this human drama was unfolding, the machines were learning fast. By 2025, AI isn't just a helper, it's an active collaborator. GPT-4 can whip up entire applications from simple instructions. Those 18,000 tech workers replaced by automation in the first few months of this year. That's happening. Google admits over a quarter of its new code is now AI generated. IBM froze hiring for thousands of jobs it expects AI to take over. So is it the Terminator scenario? Skynet taking over? Probably not. But is AI a massive disruption? Absolutely. It's automating routine tasks, maybe up to 30% of software development work, some reports say. Basic roles, especially junior ones, are disappearing or shrinking. Companies are thinking, why hire a junior dev for boilerplate code when Copilot can crank it out?
Of course, there's AI, the elephant in the room. We all know that AI tools are automating routine coding tasks at an unprecedented pace.
It's bifurcating the market. Demand for engineers who understand and build AI and machine learning systems through the roof. Demand for more generic coding skills softening. The fear is real, but the reality is nuanced. AI is making good engineers insanely productive. One senior engineer, armed with AI, might do the work of several from the pre-AI era. The bar is rising. You need to be that engineer who leverages AI, not the one replaced by it. So, you're a software engineer today. What's the reality on the ground? What are the struggles? First, your skills get old, fast, like milk left out in the sun fast. That report? Half-life of technical skills down to maybe 2.5 years. What you know today might be half irrelevant in 2027. Continuous learning isn't a nice to have anymore. It's survival. Second, competition is insane. You're competing with AI tools that can code 24/7. You're competing with that massive global talent pool we talked about. Thanks to remote work, it's coming from all sides. Third, the money train has slowed down. Remember those crazy salary hikes year after year? Yeah. Not so much now. Pay has flattened, even dropped in some areas. Reports mention 9%, even 15% drops for similar roles recently. People leaving big companies are sometimes taking 30% pay cuts at new jobs or facing long unemployment spells. Perks are getting trimmed. The premium for just being a developer is shrinking. You gotta fight for your worth now. Fourth, job security feels shaky. Layoffs hit even the giants, the safe places. Anxiety is up. People worry, is my team next? Career progression has stalled for many. Fewer promotions, less exciting moonshot projects, more maintenance, more boring work on older systems, because companies are focused on efficiency, smaller teams, more responsibility, doing more with less. Burnout is a real risk. The whole vibe has shifted. It feels less like a guaranteed golden ticket and more like, well, a job, a demanding one. Okay, enough doom and gloom. Is it all bad? No, absolutely not. There are upsides, opportunities, if you know where to look and how to play the game now. Specialization is key. While generic coding jobs are crowded, demand in specific, high-growth areas is still booming. AI, machine learning, data engineering, cloud infrastructure, still huge. Cybersecurity, if you have deep expertise here, companies are still fighting for you. You can still command strong salaries and have options. Find your niche. New roles are popping up too. Prompt engineering, crafting the right instructions for AI ethics specialists.
With a simple example, this is a poorly written bullet point from a resume. We can now ask ChatGPT to rewrite this bullet point using this structure. I accomplished X by the measure Y, that resulted in Z.
Super important. Web3, AR, VR, autonomous vehicles. Cutting-edge stuff still needs builders. And think about AI assistance differently. It wipes away the mundane crap. It lets you focus on the interesting parts. Design, complex problem solving, strategy, innovation. Master the AI tools, and you become a super developer. Let the bots handle the boilerplate. The scope is wider than ever. Tech isn't just Silicon Valley anymore. Finance, healthcare, agriculture, government, every industry needs software. Many companies outside the usual tech bubble are desperate for talent. Look beyond the usual suspects. And remote work, it cuts both ways. Yes, global competition, but also global opportunity. You can live where you want, maybe somewhere more affordable, and work for a company anywhere. That flexibility is a huge plus for many. In innovation, it's arguably easier now for individuals or small teams. Cloud platforms, open source libraries, powerful AI APIs. You can build amazing things with fewer resources than ever before. Got an idea? You can potentially build it yourself or with a small team. Startups are still getting funded, especially in AI. You can be a creator, not just a job seeker. That power is democratized now. So looking ahead, the next 5 to 10 years, what's the vibe? Extinction? No evolution? Absolutely. The job is changing, not disappearing. Mundane coding gets automated. Human focus shifts higher. Architecture, system design, quality, security, overseeing the AI tools. You become less of a pure coder, more of an orchestrator, a reviewer, a problem solver working with AI. Stop coding. Will there be jobs? Yes. The US Bureau of Labor Statistics still projects strong growth, 17% by 2033, much faster than average, but maybe not the explosive growth of the past decade. And growth will likely be concentrated in those specialized areas. Mature fields might flatten or decline. We'll see more hybrid roles. Blend tech skills with deep domain knowledge. Become the healthcare tech guru, the fintech specialist. Companies need people who understand the problem as well as the code. Interdisciplinary skills are gold. And human skills, critical thinking, creativity, communication, leadership, empathy. These become premium. AI can't replicate that. Yet, focus on becoming a great collaborator, a clear communicator, a strategic thinker. Globalization will likely accelerate. More remote teams, more distributed work, maybe more contract and freelance opportunities. The traditional 9 to 5 at one company might become less common for many. All right, the moment of truth. We've seen the past. the messy present, the potential future. What do you do? Right here, right now?
Is convincing others that your solution is the correct one.
This isn't theory, this is action. 1. Commit to lifelong learning, non-negotiable. Make it part of your routine. Online courses, certs, side projects with new tech. Stay curious, stay current. Your skills have an expiry date. Keep refreshing them. 2. Embrace AI as your wingman. Don't fear it, master it. Learn Copilot, ChatGPT, whatever comes next. Use them to crush the boring stuff. Become the engineer who gets 10 times the output because of AI, not despite it. Understand the basics of how AI/ML works, even if you're not a specialist. 3. Specialize or hybridize. Find a high-demand tech niche, AI/ML, cloud, data, security, and go deep. Become the expert. Or blend your tech skills with deep knowledge of a specific industry, finance, health, energy, whatever interests you. Be the bridge between tech and the business problem. Avoid being just a generic coder. 4. Double down on what makes you human. Focus on the stuff AI struggles with. Complex system design, architecture, nuanced problem solving, requirements gathering, quality assurance, security thinking, and soft skills. Communicate clearly. Collaborate effectively. Lead when you can. Mentor others. Be the person people want to work with. 5. Develop business acumen. Understand the why behind the software. Learn about product management, user experience, market trends. Think like a problem solver for the business, not just a code writer. This opens doors to more strategic roles. 6. Be flexible and entrepreneurial. The stable, lifelong job at one company, that might be fading. Be open to consulting, freelancing, contract work. Build multiple income streams. Consider joining a startup, or even starting your own if you have the itch. The tools are there. Think proactively. Look for ways to add unique value wherever you are. Be adaptable about where and how you work. Remote, hybrid, different locations. Agility is your friend. 7. Never forget creativity and innovation. These are human strengths I can't fully replicate. Explore emerging areas. Think outside the box. Maybe that's AI ethics, data privacy, tech regulation, or something totally new. That's where sustainable careers are built. Look, the game has changed. The wild gold rush days might be over. It's tougher out there, more competitive, more uncertain. But is it the end? No, it's a transformation. Software is more embedded in our world than ever, and we still need skilled people to build, manage, and evolve it. The future belongs to those who adapt, who learn, who specialize, who embrace the new tools, and who remember the value of human ingenuity and connection. It's not about surviving the fall. It's about learning how to fly in a different sky. So, take this in, think about it, and start making your moves. Now we'll talk more about navigating these shifts, specific strategies, and diving deeper into some of these areas soon. Stay tuned,